Yo, welcome to another great episode of Jigga Set Radio. I'm here with a really good friend of mine, y'all. I had to fight to get her on this show, y'all. I had to fight. Y'all make some noise for Miss Nurse T. Make some noise. Yes. Now we're gonna help her through this, y'all, because she a little nervous, but I promise her that this is gonna be painless. So Nurse T, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeremy, for having me.
So let's just get into it. We want the world to know who you are. So tell the world who you are. Who is Nurse T?
Nurse T is a retired nurse, now entrepreneur, vegan chef, author, educator, encourager. Yeah, that's who
you're trying to find all these words, girl, but it makes up Tawana. It makes up Miss Tawana, Miss Nurse T.
Well, Nurse T and Tawana, they're kind of separate, but
let's get into that. I like that transition because
they come together at certain points, but that's who Nurse T is.
Okay, well, I'm assuming Tawana came first. So
well, yeah.
So let's talk about Tawana. Where you from? Your upbringing. All that stuff. I know you're from Texas. Where in Texas are you from?
I'm from H-Town.
H-Town, make some noise.
I'm from Houston. I'm born and raised. I am the oldest of 5 kids. Lived in Houston all my life until I graduated high school, and from there I went on to the military, Navy, and I began my career as a corpsman, hospital corpsman, medic to some people, and from there did 8 years in the Navy, got out and continued to pursue my education and career in nursing. Did that for about 20 years until I recently retired. Okay. Almost 3 years now.
So what made you so passionate about being in the medical field? What brought you joy?
Helping people. Helping people, knowing that I can make a difference. I like the instant gratification from seeing somebody come in hurting, in pain, crying, and knowing that once they left my presence or my team's presence, because I never did anything by myself, but so once they left my team presence, that we were able to save a life, we were able to restore a limb, resuscitate a heart, whatever the case may be, but knowing that, just getting that instant gratification and knowing that I've made a difference really, really was satisfying to me.
And so that's really great, y'all. It takes a lot of moxie to be in the medical field. So congratulations to you for being able to thug through that, because it's not for everybody.
That is
true. It's not for everybody. Now, taking the from Houston, that's the Southern Belle, Southern hospitality, right? And then your upbringing as a child. Do you feel that your childhood played into your love for nursing?
Well, absolutely. Like I said, being the oldest out of 5, I was already kind of like a caregiver.
Yeah.
I was one of those what they call latchkey kids. My mom, we grew up in a single parent household. So my mom was working all the time, and I, as the oldest, had to resume a lot of responsibilities. And so I had to get my siblings ready for school. Right. I had to help, after school with stuff. So I was already in that caring mode already, and it just carried over. It was so funny when I told my mom, well, I had several different career changes throughout my adolescence. Yeah. I started off wanting to be a doctor, and then I found out how long I had to go to school, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I kept narrowing it down, because, I loved school. I enjoyed school. I excelled in school, but I did not. That's something I wanted to, after the 12th grade, I kind of didn't want to do it no more. I didn't want to do it. And so my mom was like, well, if you want to pursue other things in life, you're going to have to go to school. You're going to have to go to college. But I said all that to say is that I've always cared for my siblings and others and so forth. And like I said, I wanted to be a doctor. And I let the schooling intimidate me. So I kind of kept lowering it down. And my mom said, hey, don't go too low. Let's stop it, nurse. I said, okay, stop it, nurse. So, yes, I definitely, it played a big part.
And so, with that being said, it's a great transition there. as far as like working towards the things that you want, right?
Yes.
And having consistency and dedication and having the resilience. And so, what role did that play when you decided to go on a nursing track? How important was that to have that?
Oh my God. Very important.
Yes.
Well, for one, before 18, I joined the service.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I learned more leadership skills. I learned how to be more independent,
Mm-hmm.
and I've learned and being responsible for me,
Mm-hmm.
and they taught me a lot of different skills that I will have for a lifetime. But carrying that, starting off in the military and having that, and I was in the medical field there. Like I say, I wasn't per se a nurse. I was a surgical tech. Actually, I worked in the OR, and so having that, getting those skills and that foundation. That was my foundation,
Right.
and then that helped me to when I transitioned out of the service into the civilian life and to pursue my career and to go up the ladder in my nursing career. That helped. That foundation with the military.
Provided that structure.
That
foundation.
Yes.
And so those are all great areas to pull from as you transition into being a nurse, because like you said, you had the foundation from the military.
Yes.
And then you had your upbringing, just being that caregiver for your siblings. Mm-hmm. And when you got into the nursing field, this is a two-pronged question here. What was the most rewarding part, like the highest moment you had, like you felt like, I'm glad I chose this profession? And then what was like one of your days like, I'm just this took a toll on me emotionally?
Well, so the one that it's so many instances where I felt this feeling where it was like, oh my God, this is what I was made to do. It started off. It would start off as just me walking into a patient's room and they're down, and my personality and me going in there, and my patients, they would laugh at me. They's like, "Were you in the military?" This was after the service. They like, "Were you in the military?" Because I will be on them, like, wake up, get up. Why you looking down? Let's talk about it. And it's just like I was able to be me. Mm-hmm. Like I was able to. I wasn't, using a prompter, or I wasn't using a script. I was able to be me. Yeah. And I was able to pull something out of them, whether they were depressed, whether they were sad, what they were going through. And I didn't know it at the time, but hindsight, looking back, I was dropping little nuggets and ministering to them then, and didn't even know it. Like, I would go into my patient's room and they would be sad or crying, and next thing I know, we laughing, we talking about their kids, talking about all these different things, and that was one of the things where I was just like, man, this feels good to be able to. Now I wouldn't administer medication. I listened to their heart, right? Different things. I was listening to their heart and different things like this, but just having a conversation. Sometimes people just want you to listen to them, or they just want to talk, or they just want to. So having that, but then also on the flip side is when I'm in the operating room, or I'm in the room where a person comes in and they having a heart attack, and we don't know if they're gonna live or die. They don't know if they're gonna live and die, and then at the end of us all coming together, working as a team to restore them and to get their heart back functioning right and get everything, and to be able to talk to them after the fact. Now that is rewarding. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, this person's life was in our hands, and we were able to, help them to survive. Like, they could live to see another day, to be with their family and their loved ones. So those are the things that made me feel like, oh God, this is so. Thank you for allowing me to experience this and be an intricate part of these people's lives. Yeah. Now, on the flip side of that, where I've had some days where I've cried, and that's when we've lost a life. We do the best we can, and but to see someone lose their life and right before your eyes, that did something. That did something to me. Yeah. That So you have your highs and you have your lows, and that losing my first patient was my low.
Yeah, ebbs and flows of life.
Yeah.
And especially in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only imagine the people, especially the ones that do during COVID, the ones that were like on the front lines and, you know, not getting sleep, risking their lives.
I can't imagine. And a lot of my fellow friends and coworkers were out there, and I wholeheartedly commend them and thank God I didn't, as far as I know, lose any of my friends.
Yeah.
But they were very courageous going out there and doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But when you have that passion and you have that drive to help people, you kind of put that aside. Just like going to war, you know that it's a possibility you might have to go fight and you'll be on the front line and you might just not make it back home.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when you're driven.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're still here with Tawana. She's doing so great. And I can tell she opened right on up. And I said, I know exactly what to ask her for her to just feel real comfortable. And so we're going to keep this train going. So what does Tawana do to reset? Because we're going to talk about her entrepreneurship. And she also has a book, y'all. We're going to get into that too. But like, what does Tawana do to reset? Because you, like we talked about, you are in the medical field. You're a retired nurse, however, rather. And so during the time when you were actually, you know, working. What were you doing to reset? And then like then versus now, what do you do to reset? Is it the same process? Has it evolved as you got to learn yourself a little bit more? Because your lifestyle's not even the same.
Yeah.
And so like what were you doing initially to reset from?
Partying. Partying with my friends. You were one of them, but partying. I love live music, dancing, brunching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I love being around people. I come alive around people and my friends especially. And my mom, I think it's just instilled in her children. We never meet a stranger. We'll talk to a tree stump. And so just being out amongst people, especially after working and being in the hospital all the time with sick patients and so forth, just being out with my friends and stuff would just really make me come alive.
Yeah.
And so that's what I used to do to unwind.
Mm-hmm.
What I do to unwind now, or kind of like the same thing. I don't do as much partying anymore. Being an entrepreneur now, I have to force myself to make time for myself.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's crazy because even as an entrepreneur, when I force myself to make time, I feel like I'm being selfish. Like you need to be doing something for the business. Like how dare you sit here and watch nothing on TV, or just sit here and let the TV play. Because sometimes I just sit there and my mind's still going. Yeah. But I still like to listen to live music. I still like to listen to party, but I'm just a little bit more low key with it now. But I go. I love to be outside. I love nature, so I love walking. Mm-hmm. I love bowling. But again, it's very healthy. It's very healthy to have a relationship and be comfortable by yourself. Yeah. But it's very healthy to have a very strong net type support group. And I definitely have that. I've always had that. I'm very thankful for that. And so they keep me grounded. And if they don't hear from me, they're like, hey, we ain't heard from you. What's going on? Let's get out. Let's go somewhere. Let's go have lunch or dinner, or let's go see a movie. And so I allow myself that time now.
Yeah, that's
to
good.
Do those things to just kind of reset.
Yeah. So we during your rebuttal, your answer, you mentioned the things that you used to do versus the things you do now. Mm-hmm. So are we referring to a lifestyle change?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, and that's going to open up a whole floodgate for her. When we first met, Lord, how long has it been now? Ooh.
Over 6 years.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, and so when I first met Nurse T, that was a different Nurse T. That was the 1.0. That was 1.0.
I was way turned.
And she's gone through many software upgrades since then. Let's talk about the biggest one for you that literally changed your life and it freed you from a lot of medicines and things of the modern day medicines. So let's talk about your journey to become a vegan and then the evolution to step up from that.
So as you just mentioned, changing my diet, going from I kind of stair-stepped because my health was, as you get older, your body starts telling you we don't like certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from eating a lot of the mainstream meat, or I would say our most familiar with meat, our chicken, our pork, beef. I stopped eating those things and I stopped eating a lot of, dairy, different things like that. And I went pescatarian, which is seafood. It's still meat, but it's seafood. And I went because I wasn't ready to give that up yet. So I went pescatarian first. So I kind of stair-stepped. And even when I transitioned to that, I still noticed that the weight wasn't coming off. I still was feeling really crappy as far as my health was concerned. So then I took another step. And from there, I went straight vegan, but not just vegan. I went alkaline vegan because I needed to heal my body from a lot of diseases and sickness that I was suffering with. And so that was my big turn. And it's been 3 years now. 3 years. I celebrated 3 years in August. So, yay.
Yes.
I have been able to, keep going.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have been able to, I lost, when I first started my vegan journey, I was 250 pounds and I dropped down. The lowest I think I got was like 168. And then I kind of started to even out. So I kind of hang out around like the 170s, 180s now. And I'm comfortable with that. I kind of let my body tell me when it was ready. I don't go by a scale. I don't go by what the doctor's scales say. I don't go by any of that. I go by how my body is. When it says it stopped losing, it's ready to stop losing, And I go by how I feel. So I'm very comfortable at the weight I am now. I feel great. I was able to, when I was in my heaviest at 250, I was taking 10 medications a day for different ailments, high blood pressure. I was pre-diabetic. I had a lot of inflammation and swelling in my joints. I had gastric reflux disease. I can go on and on. But literally, I was taking 10 medicines a day. I had a pill box, y'all. It was so embarrassing. And I just said, I can't do this no more. I don't like the way I feel. I can't do this anymore. And I got to make a change. And it's, I know we heard this before, but it's so true. It's not until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Somebody they can feed you stuff. They can keep telling you, your health, this and that and other. And being a nurse, I knew better. I see what obesity do to people. I see what high blood pressure, diabetes, and all the rest of that stuff do to people. I watched it. I've been there. And, it wasn't until it started affecting me and it got to me and I got sick and tired of dealing with it that I had to make a decision. And I did it. I did it abruptly. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, I'm not trying to tell you to be like me because at the end, I had no husband at home. I had no children. I have a dog. So when I made my transition, I didn't have to worry about my husband, my children, whatever. I did it. It was just me. So it was very easy for me to do it. And I did it during the pandemic when we were already isolated, you know? So that was another thing I think that helped me as well. But I went cold turkey. I did it. And within 30 days, within 30 days of my transition, I had already dropped 25 pounds. So that kind of that motivated me because I was like, oh my God, this is really working. No exercise, just diet change. So within 30 days, I was down 25 pounds. That motivated me to keep going. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going. And within less than a year, I think about 8 months, I was already down. Like I say, I had dropped to my lowest. I was like 168.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, I heard, here come the comments. Oh, did you have surgery? Because I really was showing myself at the time. And then when I did show myself. People was like, oh my God, you look great. Did you have surgery? What did you do? What did you do? And I'm like, no, I didn't have no surgery. If anybody knows me, no, I ain't getting nothing cut on unless I have to.
Mhm.
I said, no, I changed my diet. And okay, so what did you do? I told them what I did. Oh yeah, I can't do that. Okay. Well, all right. Well, you asked me what I did. That's what I did, That, again, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you make those decisions. Because I was at that point in my life years ago where I said, oh no, I don't think I could ever stop eating shrimp. I don't think I could ever stop eating crab legs. Oh no, no. When it came to my health and I got sick and tired, I let it go. I'm 45 years old. I did 40 some years of eating seafood and all the rest of it. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay now.
And so for people, one of the things we like to do on the show is, allow the guests to just talk to people that's like on the way,
Okay.
on the journey.
Okay.
Whether it's they are considered in the military, in your case, they are considered a career in nursing, or they're considering lifestyle change like becoming an alkaline vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And so for someone that's trying to transition over to being an alkaline vegan, what advice would you give them?
Know your why.
Mm.
Knowing your why. Because it's not going to be easy, because you're probably going to have to do this journey alone. You might have others to follow you later, but in the beginning, you're probably going to be solo like I was, and like I still am. I'm the only one in my family. And but knowing my why is what kept me going and what keeps me going.
Right.
Knowing what I didn't want, how I didn't want to feel anymore, how I didn't want to look anymore. And please don't take this the wrong way, but learning how to love myself and truly love myself, and learning what harmed me and caused me harm and what I don't want to harm me anymore.
Exactly.
I had to let go.
Exactly.
And so that would be the main thing I would tell anybody. Even whether it's becoming military, nursing, transition to a vegan lifestyle, know your why. Because once you know your why, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have oppositions. You're going to have challenges that's going to come. You're going to have days where you ain't going to feel like it. You're going to smell that hamburger and be like, And if you do eat it, okay, fine. There's no condemnation. So what? Okay. You get a do-over. You get a do-over. Every time we wake up in the morning, we get breath in our body again, we get a do-over. So don't beat yourself up. No condemnation, but know your why.
Yes.
And your why is going to carry you.
And so I told you she got a book, and I wanted to ask, how much is this offered in your book for people that are trying to transition? What kind of stuff do you offer in your book? And go ahead and hold it up for Camry. This is the book that she have, y'all. This is what she has. Y'all make some noise for her, because it ain't easy writing the book. I'm in the process of writing my own as well. So like, it ain't easy. So tell us about the book.
So Alkaline Now What? And it's successful tips on how to transition to an alkaline lifestyle. And it tells you a little bit about my journey. I definitely give credit to Dr. Sebi, which it was his concept. It was him that formulated the alkaline diet. It talks about, it has a lot of resources on here on where to shop, what to eat, a few recipes. What else? You doing this journey alone, how you can get help and resources and people to support you, support groups, the social media like I did. And I still have another family with the alkaline community and just vegan community, period. Online, I have gotten so much support from them. Just questions. Nobody ever shunned me. They always answered my questions. They helped me, and so I actually wrote this book because of where I was when I started. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know anything. All I knew is I heard about Dr. Sebi. I knew about the nutritional guide and list of foods that he recommended, and that's all I knew.
Right.
I had to kind of gather all my stuff from there on my own. And so I kind of felt like if I wrote a book to help somebody to get a stair step ahead, then I will be helping them. And so that's what I did. I was like, oh, you know what? This would have been beneficial to me when I first started my journey. reading this book, this kind of book. And so I felt like that's why I wanted to write it, so I can help people to have a resource.
Okay.
And to go from there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that information, and I appreciate you for sharing that. And real quick, before we take a quick break, where can people buy this book?
You can purchase my book online on my website, which is www.ecuisinernt.com, or you can also purchase it on Amazon. So again, it's Alkaline Now What? Successful tips on transitioning to an alkaline lifestyle. So if you're interested, I would suggest you get it. It's an easy read, less than 50 pages. A lot of resources in here, a couple recipes.
Already. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with Tawana. We got some more questions for her. And then this split personality she has. Nurse T versus Tawana. Who we're going to give us some scenarios to see who will respond.
That's funny.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
A lot of nuggets for individuals that's looking to get into the vegan lifestyle, the alkaline vegan lifestyle, that, and then just being able to talk through like why she's so passionate, where she gets her passion, her drive, her courageousness. She talked about all that in the first half. Now we're gonna get into some other stuff. We're gonna talk about her other shift that she did in her life, and this is her entrepreneurship. And so, well, let's talk through that. Like, how was that transition? You went from, like I said, you went from having a militant background, lifestyle with that, and then you went to being a nurse, and then you said, I'm giving it up. What made you give it up?
God. I still laugh about where I am now, because if it was left up to Tawana, I would have been like, nah. You would have told me 3 years ago, oh, girl, you're going to be a chef. You're going to be a vegan chef at that. No meat. You're going to be planting stuff in your yard. You're going to be serving people all over the United States. You're going to be doing this and that. I would have laughed at you and told you out of your mind. No, absolutely not. I thought that my career was going to be, I was going to nurse until, nurse in the hospitals until, climb up the ladder. Because I went and got my graduate degree at UTA Arlington, and I thought I was going to be a professor, later on in life. I would not have ever pictured this for myself, but here we go.
Yeah.
And, hey, I have let God take the reins of my life, and this is the journey He wants me on, to be able to spread the knowledge and the information that I received by transitioning, not only by what I ate, but it changed my whole life, health-wise, mental, my mindset, changed my circle of friends. It changed everything for me, and that's why I tell people, don't do this to lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 100 pounds. You're trying to go on your birthday trip, trying to get ready for your honeymoon. Don't. This is not that. This is a lifestyle change.
Yes.
This is a journey. Also, it's a journey and it's a lifestyle change. This is not a quick fix. If this is what you're looking for as far as a quick fix, this is not for you. But if you want to change your life completely, then this is definitely for you.
Absolutely.
So
you mentioned that your friendships have changed, and on many of the podcasts I've done here on JSR, we talked about the woes of entrepreneurship, and how we have to essentially have a big backbone, and because essentially when we decide to go over to being a full-time entrepreneur, like, it's not like a 9 to 5. We don't have a safety net anymore. You cut those strings, and because you said, I'm trusting the process, I'm trusting God, whatever you putting that energy into, you're trusting it, and you going full steam ahead,
right,
in most cases. And so for you, you had multiple iterations of changes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You were changing your lifestyle, converting over to an alkaline vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also decided to take that leap and become an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
What does mental balance look like in that? Because that's a buy one, get one. Okay, that's a bug up. So like, what did that look like for you as far as mentally? Because you were trying to figure it out on this side, alkaline vegan side, and you were also trying to figure it out as a brand new entrepreneur. You just knew that you had a vision in mind, and you just wanted to help people. Like every single thing you've done up until this moment, you said at the core, the why, I want to help people. What did that look like for you?
Well, the transition came out of nowhere during COVID, and I said, oh my God, if this is what changing my lifestyle and changing my diet has done for me, because it not only made my dress size smaller, my pant size smaller, but it changed the way I thought about myself. It took my self-esteem from here to here. I got in tune with me on why I did things, why I ate, my culture, my background. I mean, it touched so many different aspects of my life that I didn't even realize. Because I thought, oh, it's just my diet changing.
Right.
No, it's your whole outlook on life. It's everything that changed. And I just felt like this was so powerful for me. I have got to help other people. So immediately the nurse in me, that core that was in me from a childhood on up, I said, what? I got to help other people. I got to spread this. I got to share this with other people. Mm-hmm. And so that launched me into entrepreneurship. Went in it blind, still feel like I'm blind, but thankful for friends like Jeremy. Like Jeremy has been oh my God, you have done so much. You don't even realize, I don't think, how much you've done for me, but just helping me, giving me that guide when I was like, okay, what do I need to do now? How do I get started? What did I do? Oh my God, let's not talk about the website. The website by itself almost took me out of here. But the transition from going vegan to, and I don't even think of it as a transition. It was, well, yeah, it was, but it's kind of like they came together, but I didn't even know. It's like one was just lagging behind. Like I didn't know that was coming next. But it's like, when God has a plan and, it's your plans are not his plan, you don't even know. You don't know. And so I feel like it just snuck up on me. And then it was like, okay, I just knew once it did sneak up on me and once it hit me, I knew that's what I had to do. Right. I knew that was my next journey in life.
Yeah. Okay. So, sneaking up on you. We're not talking about no drinks, y'all. We're talking about just life be life. Yes. You have to make decisions. Ooh, yeah. And in your journey as an entrepreneur, you also face new experiences, new challenges you've never faced before. And so, again, talking to the audience, the people that's watching this video podcast and listening to it audibly through the other sources, when you start out as a new entrepreneur, what can you say to help prepare someone for the various ebbs and flows of the entrepreneurship?
Some things you're not going to be able to prepare for. Mm-hmm. But what I have learned, and I'm still learning, there's going to be good days, bad days. There's going to be times when you're low and times when you're high. You're going to have times where you just like, money raining, and then it's going to be like a drought. And I've had those. And my first year, I've cried. I have asked God. I know he got tired of me asking him, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I need you to show me a sign from heaven. Like, I wanted lightning bolts to fall down. I mean, I was like, are you sure? I mean, I was like, because, I can go back to nursing now, that was a for sure paycheck into it, and God just kept reconfirming. And I had to start looking, okay, this is a journey to it's unfamiliar territory.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely different from, what you've been knowing all your life from, 18 on up as far as nursing. I know that some of that stuff I knew that like the back of my hand, I ain't had nobody to have to, but this was just, when I say vulnerability, just like all the walls coming down and you just being exposed, the light is on you. And it's just like, it's a growth. It's a, I can't even, man. As you said, life be lifing. And this being an entrepreneur has really grown me up a little bit more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's still not done. It's a journey. It is truly a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a journey. Different things we go through is a journey. Different streets and avenues we take is a journey. This is definitely another journey for me, and it's caused me to grow in all the areas of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, enjoy the journey. Don't be hard on yourself. You're gonna make mistakes. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna have good days, gonna have bad days. You're going to cry. That's okay. Get your cry it,
Get it out,
and then wipe your face and put on your big boy, girl panties, and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta dust ourselves off, and you're gonna have lots of times like that. You're gonna have lots of times. But I'm gonna go back to what I said before: knowing your why, having God confirm for me over and over again. But having God confirm for me, this is the journey I want you on. This is where I have you now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that season of your life is over, and it really isn't over because I still do nursing over here on this side. I still do it.
Yeah,
I still do it. It's just in a different scene, a different scenery. But I would just say, know your why. Don't give up. Don't be hard on yourself, and enjoy the journey. Don't be so in a rush to get ahead of the journey. Don't be so fast to want to jump ahead, because in every part of the journey, there's a life lesson to be learned that's going to help you to be successful in the next part. So I've learned that. I'm also learning too, because I hate social media. Guys,
Ooh,
I hate it.
That was gonna be my next
I hate
topic.
social media. And the only reason why I'm on there is because of my business. But because social media sucks you in.
Ooh.
And I have found myself doubting myself, being hard on myself, going into depression on social media because I'm watching everybody else's life and their journey instead of watching my journey. Instead of focusing on my journey, I'm watching your journey, and then I'm comparing. Well, why I don't have that? Well, why I haven't opened that restaurant yet? Well, why no? Well, nobody gave me no funds. I mean, taking my eyes off of what I'm supposed to be doing, and now I'm in your lane, I'm in somebody else's lane.
Right.
And so I would encourage you, if you're on social media and you're using social media as a marketing tool for your business, do exactly that. Do not let yourself get sucked into that and to start comparing yourself to others, comparing your business, your success to others. Stay in your lane and enjoy your journey. You don't know what that other person had to go through in their journey and their walk. Everybody has their own. So stay focused, know your why, and stay in your lane and enjoy your journey.
Absolutely. Well said. So you beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was going to ask you about social media and how you handle that. We don't have to get into that now, but there is something else I want to ask because as you were saying, and I don't think I told you recently, I've gotten off social media just temporarily. I'm not doing anything on there. And this is just one of my personal journeys because I need to reset. And as you were saying, like I woke up, I think it was early last week on a Tuesday, and I found myself in this pattern, the zombie pattern that people talk about, where you just zombie scrolling and you're just looking through lives.
Yeah.
Just literally every time you go to that next frame, it's somebody else's life.
Yeah.
Different life. And imagine you taking on all that extra energy at the beginning of your day. And now what's going to happen? Now you're not focused that day. You're not focused. And that's what ended up happening. I went to the gym. Right after that, I woke up and scrolled for maybe 45 minutes. I was supposed to be at
like you say, 45 minutes. That's 45 minutes of your life. You cannot get back.
I can't get it back.
I'm there with you. I'm there.
And so I went to the gym, and what ended up happening? It transferred that energy to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm thinking like, man, why don't I have
Mm-hmm.
these necessary things that I feel like I should have? Like I see these people on social media.
You had jumped in somebody else's lane.
Yeah. And I'm
trying to go on their journey with them.
I don't know how to steer.
Getting their car.
Yeah. I don't know how to operate their car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I end up I feel like I was getting low and heavy.
Yes.
And I just felt like I could not stay afloat for the rest of my life. And it just happened so fast. But I recognized it was a culmination of things.
Yeah.
And that was just the one that kind of just knocked me down. And then what ended up happening was I said, you know what? I'm not suicidal by no means, but like I was like, I don't want to do this entrepreneurship life anymore. I'm gonna just work and then live my life day to day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to dream. Let's just give up on dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just live day to day. We don't need to have any dreams or any aspirations. And then my subconscious said, okay, I've heard enough. and it definitely was God as well.
Right.
And he was like, so you being just an average person doesn't work.
That's not who he created you to be.
That's not who he created.
All right.
And I need you to pull yourself out of this.
That's right.
And what do we need to do? Why are we on this journey?
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the why.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we here? Why did you just decide to go on this journey as an entrepreneur?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to become a mixologist? Why did you decide to go into technology?
Mm-hmm.
All these things is what I created you to do. And you were supposed to be an inspiration to other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Your personality is supposed to touch other people's lives. You're supposed to make people feel like, I didn't even know I needed you in my life. That's how you're supposed to make people feel.
And that's how you make me feel.
And so when I was able to, I talked to a couple of people. My best friend, shout out to my best friend in Atlanta, JT. I talked to him and a couple other friends, Dennis, and they had said, yeah, pull yourself out.
Right.
We already know who you are.
Right.
And the person you're talking about is not that you want to become either run away from or because you're just kind of fed up. That's not who you're designed to be. That's not.
But
who
the thing that I'm hearing here is that you notice the pattern. You notice a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You got down on yourself. Thank God for God and you recognizing. But then another thing that really just stuck to me is you have a good support system. You have people that said, instead of saying, yeah, bro, yeah, you might need to go and give it up. No, those people are saying, that's not who you are.
Right.
This is who you are.
Right.
And they help recenter you.
Right.
And that's important.
Mm-hmm.
That is important in our life, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But in entrepreneurship, we need that. We need that. Because sometimes I feel like I'm all alone.
Yep.
I'm already on this vegan journey alone.
Right.
I don't have my family. I mean,
they support you, but
they support me. No, let me back that up. Yeah. They support me 100% from the jump. They have always, I mean, any events I do, you talking about marketing, my mom will market the crap out of something. Okay. She supports me, but they say, oh, you look so nice. Oh, we so glad that you don't have to take your medication. Oh, we so glad this and that and other. But that's as far as they go. And I'm not judging them because you know what? When they get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I want to be able to be here for them.
Yep.
I don't want to be like, no, I tried to tell you. No. When they ready, I want to be able to be here for them and offer them whatever support, education, resources I can give to help them on their journey. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's why God put me on this journey, put me on this. So, I lost my train of thought here, but what I want to say is we need that. We need that support system. We need that. And social media it can be a good tool. Like I say, good marketing tool.
Exactly.
Good I've learned so much as education wise, but we got to be smart enough and we got to be able to know when it's becoming toxic or when we need to withdraw from it. Or as you know, as I say, we say a lot of in the vegan world, whatever, detoxing and fasting from it. Yeah. You know, sometimes people always think fasting from food. No, sometimes you need to fast from people, social media, the phone, the whatever it is drawing your attention and sucking the life out of you, or causing that being a distraction. Sometimes you got to pull away from it, step away, and reset, like as you say. So again, with me, I have stopped a lot of my social media stuff. At first, I was on there, and it's like, no, because I'm busy. I'm busy. So I'm gonna post the important things that I need to post, and I'm gonna get off of here. Yeah. And but it's a conscious decision. I have to make myself. You gonna post this? You gonna put the phone down? You gonna stop? Because before we know it, like you say, 45 minutes you had woke up. You was supposed to be at the gym. 45 minutes of your life you done spent scrolling in somebody else's lane, in somebody else's life. Some of that stuff ain't even real anyway. Right. And you done changed your whole mindset to where you was ready to throw in the towel and give up. Yep. So, resetting, knowing our whys, having a good support system, and enjoying our journey. Yep. Again, it goes right back to that.
Yep. So one of the things I've noticed that you've taken a liking to in your journey is going back to social media real quick is Miss Tabitha Brown.
I have. I like Miss Tabitha.
I know. Shout out to
Who doesn't like Miss Tabitha?
Shout out to Miss Tabitha.
She's like everybody's auntie, right?
I know. She everybody's auntie. Shout out to you, Miss Tabitha. We're going to tag you in this. And so, like you were saying, like get on social media, get what you need from social media. Yes.
And she says that too. Mm-hmm. She has said a lot of powerful messages about that as well.
And that's the reason why I wanted to bring it up. Okay. I know that you've been there's a lot of messages you've taken from her and applied to your own life. So
and I reshare her stuff.
What is one is the most powerful ones to date of hers that you really had to copy and paste it into your life? And then like, you know what, that hit me. And you said she says a lot of things. But I'm pretty sure there was like something that like, you know, was like, you know what? Today I'm making this change.
Ooh, man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one because she be dropping some nuggets.
Yes, she does.
And God really truly uses her.
Let's do this.
Go ahead.
Let's do this, okay? Miss Tabitha Brown. So you and her have become more spiritual when you went through your journey. Uh-huh. You've become personally, I know, more connected to God. Mm-hmm. And Tabitha is on that same tangent. Yes. And so what are the things that you just say that this journey as an entrepreneur, vegan, alkaline vegan, uh-huh. Like what do you say has of those two things that's put you close
to him?
Mm-hmm. Because you've known of being God over the years.
I grew up in church, right? And I different mindset though back then. Mm-hmm. Always feeling like you had to do something for God to do something. He's gonna be mad at you if you don't do this, or you know, he's not gonna do this for you, or you know, I gotta be perfect. I had to learn to trust him. Mm-hmm. When I left my job to start doing the entrepreneurship 100%. Yes. Because at first I was doing both. It got too much for me to where I couldn't keep up with the nursing job and the business. And I knew that this was a journey that God wanted me to do. So I said, okay, well, now I have to make a decision. That was one of the scariest decisions I've had to make in my life.
Yes.
Trusting him completely. but he's taking care of me, and I don't want for anything. And he makes ways out of no ways for me. I mean, that's a whole nother podcast and story. But that's one thing I take away from with Tabitha, and she always references God in everything that she does, and she always acknowledges, him, and it's important to have that strong spiritual connection. I feel like in this journey, because like I say, sometimes I'm alone. Sometimes you don't know what I'm dealing with, right? Because I haven't picked up the phone and called you. This person, my mom, may not even know what I'm going through, or if I had a bad day or rough day. My sales wasn't probably the best, or different things like that. We go through different things and we have our different waves, but God is a constant.
Yes.
A constant. And I talk to him all the time. And so he keeps me grounded, and I see that with her. I see that with her business, her family, that is a constant for them.
Absolutely. So let's get light and fluffy. Let's change the subject a little bit. We're sitting here with Tawana, y'all. She's doing such a great job. Y'all make some more noise for her. So you mentioned live music that you like to get into. That's one of those things that kind of like helps you reset, things you get into. What era of music is your favorite era?
There you go.
Oh, I have to ask the hard questions.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to dive even deeper after that question.
I'm an old soul. I was raised by my grandma. So my like of music, oh my God, I go all the way back. I can go all the way back to B.B. King.
Okay.
I can go back to just blues. I mean, the blues.
So what decade of music would you say?
Oh, what is that? That was my 70s?
Probably 70s. Yeah.
That was like in the 70s. I was born in 78. So it was like, that's the 70s, I would think. But I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I like, hey, I'm from Texas, and I don't know, y'all be trying to act like y'all don't like country. Yeah, I know y'all like country music. But I like country music. Yeah. I like, R&B. I like rap. I like 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't like this new age stuff. I'm really probably showing my age now. I don't like this new age stuff. I don't like all this. I like the beats, but I don't know what they saying. But I like but just one of my favorite groups is the Commodores.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That was gonna be my next question. I said, if you had to identify a favorite group, what would that group be?
Commodores, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Isley Brothers, that era.
Okay.
Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
I like that.
So
music that used to make you think.
That was gonna be where I was going next.
Yeah.
When you think about when you grew up with that era of music, and you think about how it made you feel, and then you think about life then, how often do you transcend and just kind of zen out and go back to those times were simpler?
Ooh. I go all the way back to my bedroom when I was in school and used to be having the nerve to say, I can't wait till I get grown. Baby. And then when you didn't even know. Didn't know nothing about no life. And then life was going to life me up. But I tell my mom all the time, I say, all we had to do was just make good grades and do what you told us to do and keep our room clean. And you fed us, you put a roof over our head. We had to worry about the light bill, the water bill, the phone bill. We had to worry about no bills.
Salome.
Oh my God. All the other folk that you don't even, ooh. Yes. Going back to simpler times, but that music, when I listen to that kind of music, it makes me happy. It makes me smile. And even though I didn't even know then when I was liking the music to even realize that Marvin Gaye now was actually singing about what they were going through in their time and so forth. But the songs just, I don't know, they I don't know.
They won't referencing that group, they were beyond their time.
Right.
And even what that song, "What's Going On," isn't that about Mark again? Yeah, and so like even now, if you apply that, to that then to now, it's relevant. Yeah. Those are timeless songs.
Yeah, but that might not make you smile. If you really look at what's going on.
Oh no.
But yeah, I like all types of music, but I think the 70s, some of the 80s, yeah, it's definitely my favorite.
Okay. And
so like the 90s too.
Yeah, I could tell you were playing 90s earlier. I don't know what happened to the music, but we're gonna get it back on in a sec. But okay, so when we talk about someone that is whole, what does that look like for you in your current journey?
Whole.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure there's been different iterations.
Oh yeah.
As we shed and grown this, we started with a seed and then we go into flower. What does whole look like for you? Yeah, I went real fluffy. We just go back deep down.
Whole is healed, loving, forgiving. I'm describing because I feel like when I think about what's whole and what's up, because I think about being broken, and so when you're whole, you're healed,
right?
You're forgiving, you're patient, compassionate. That's still, I believe that I am more whole now than I've ever been, but it is still a journey of loving people that I feel like don't deserve to be loved or don't deserve my love. But then I think about, well, what about you? Do you deserve love and to be loved, even though you messed up or you made mistakes? And my answer is yes. So then I have to think, well, even though sometimes them people don't act lovable, you still need to love them.
Right.
And to me, that's maturity, that's growth, and that's being whole or becoming whole. Is when you mature enough to know the difference and to be able to say, you know what, I might not feel like it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yes,
because that's the right thing to do. Or, I'll always go back to how would I want to be treated,
right?
Or how I would want somebody to treat me or love me or make me feel. So I think whole is, and then having that. To me, whole, I was missing I thought I loved myself, but I didn't. I didn't love myself like I thought I loved myself. I feel like now I love myself. I accept me, all of me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think that also has a lot to do with being whole. It's when you can learn to accept yourself and love yourself no matter what. I don't have to have nobody tell me I'm beautiful. I don't have to have nobody tell me, girl, you fine. I don't have to have nobody tell me, you look pretty today. Your hair, I don't have to. I know it. I know it.
So, and the last thing I'm going to ask is how valuable and important therapy has been to you. Has that helped you in your journey, like keep you grounded and focused? And entrepreneur-wise, sorting through things that happen maybe in the military.
Oh, wow.
Like how important, and we talked about this before, y'all, on the show, how in our community, how there's a stigma for someone going to
a therapist.
Right. And so being someone that have seen a therapist, how important would you say in our community and in your life therapy has been?
Everybody needs someone to talk to. And I think that a therapist acts as they're neutral. They're not passing judgment on you as you probably feel like maybe your family or your friends may. They're not bringing up your past, throwing your past in your face because you're trying to move forward. They're a sounding board. They're listening to you, and they kind of help you sort out all of those ideals and thoughts and feelings that are in your head and kind of help you make sense of them.
Yeah.
And again, I think the most important thing is because they're neutral, they don't know you.
Right.
Because no matter how much we accept, like no matter how much my friends may accept the new me, I'm always gonna have those that try to bring up my past or remember when or this and that and the other or can't or there's others that can accept me and they are no longer a part of my life. And it's okay because I've outgrown that, and it's okay. I still love them, but we're not there anymore. Right. I think therapy is a good outlet, and so many people, because they got so much boggled up inside them, and because we were taught not to share. Toughen up, shake it off. Don't discuss what's going on in this house.
What goes on in this house? Basically.
You know what? Dry your tears. Don't show your weakness. Don't this and the other. We were taught that. It was ingrained in us.
Where do you think that came from? You think that came from during the time when we were oppressed?
I think so. I think so. But just like with everything else, if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result.
Yep. I
have generational diseases in my family. Heart disease that killed my family members. Kidney disease. People have had to have transplants, this and that and the other. Cancer, all of those things. The way I changed that for me is I changed my lifestyle. I no longer eat what my ancestors ate or my family members ate or my mama and daddy and grandmother ate. So I don't have to go get those diseases. So people say, girl, it's generational. My mom and them had, my grandma had. No, not necessarily. You can change those things. And it's the same way with our life, with our mental health. Yep. Mental health is serious, and we need to take it serious. But in our culture, that was laughed at.
Yeah.
We don't talk about our feelings like that. Men don't show weakness. That crying is weak. Dry your tears. You acting like a punk. They would say. And so what you do? You internalize it. And then that stuff hunts you and eats you up, and then you have suicide. Mm-hmm. Then you have self-mutilation. Mm-hmm. Then you have abusive relationships.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it goes on and on and on. So therapy really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I never forget this one thing. I was in, and this is one thing a therapist said to me, and I never forget it. She basically gave me the analogy that I had put all my eggs in one basket. And so when that basket was destroyed or no longer was good for me, I had nothing. Because I put everything into that basket or that person or that whatever that is for you. And I had no life outside of that. I had no nothing without that. And she said, don't do that. You can't do that. You have to have life outside of that.
Right.
And when she said that to me, I thought about it and I was like, she's right. She's right. And again, it wasn't something that wasn't in me, but she helped bring it out.
Yep.
She helped me realize or helped me to see something that was already, that probably was in me, but it would have took me maybe longer to discover.
Right.
She helped me to discover that. So therapy is not bad at all. And I hate the stigma that therapy have on it. Therapy is not bad at all. And you don't have to go to a licensed professional, but you need I think it would be helpful to have a neutral person.
Yeah.
That don't know you. They can't throw up your past. They can't keep remember when, blah, 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 So we need it. We need it every now and then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you were able to elaborate on how therapy has affected you and try to help course correct your life, put you back on the right track, revigorate you in ways that you probably didn't think you could do right away on your own. Mm-hmm. And so I commend you for being vulnerable and sharing that. Thank you. Y'all make some noise for her as we reached the end of the podcast. And one of the things I want to ask for you to do, for one, can you tell everyone about your book again?
Okay.
Just show them the book and tell them where to get it from.
So my book is called Alkaline Now What? And you can find it on my website at www.eatcuisinernt.com or on Amazon. Also, you can follow me on Instagram.
Mhm.
I am Electric Cuisine _ on Instagram, and on Facebook, I am Electric Cuisine by Nurse T.
There it is, y'all. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate
Thank you for having me.
You will be back now that you know how this works with JSR.
Yes.
You know, we talk about real stuff, but it's a very casual conversation, and you know, and also in many points of the conversation, it can get real.
Yes.
And so, like, that's the life that we all live, and we need to acknowledge every facet of it as it comes along. So we thank you for coming on, and until next time, guys, I holla.